How we doing, everybody, and welcome back to the Catalyst, where we break down all things bullish in the crypto markets. Today, some bullish news for Flexa. You see this tweet surmised in 3 words: enter the Metaverse. Obviously, if you've been even hinting at crypto at all over the last few months, or even if you've been completely uninvolved, you've been aware of the Metaverse. Between the nuclear runs that the coins and assets have been taking, to Facebook changing their name and all that crazy stuff, the Metaverse has absolutely blown up, and just the theory and idea behind it. A bunch of companies pivoting to blockchain and everything like that, pushing NFTs, all that stuff. So you see here now, Flexa has teamed up and now is, processing transactions for Gamestop, as well as supporting assets such as Axie Infinity, Decentraland, and Sandbox as well. So this is obviously amazing news. One, because anytime you're in conversations with GameStop, that always seems to be pretty positive news, because of just the sheer backing that GameStop has in terms of its, I don't want to say fan base, but like the investor base, the people that are interested in GameStop and using it as an asset and everything like that. That's a good crowd to have on your side in terms of investing or holding any assets, because we've seen the power and the way that they can impact the market, and it's typically in a positive way. So that's always good to have on our side there. Additionally, some potential bullish news for GameStop as they are pushing for their NFT platform and everything as well. So this is all kind of tying in quite nicely. There was some hints at GameStop and Loopring and Flexa kind of in the past. I've done a video on that before, actually. And now it's kind of coming to fruition. We see, you can now make payments at GameStop using the Flexa network. So you can imagine, as GameStop releases their NFT platform, why not allow Flexa to collateralize some of those transactions as well? So we'll see kind of how that goes. Additionally, just the idea that they're holding Metaverse assets and they're completely aware of it, and kind of, entrenched in the Metaverse in itself. I think they're also kind of aware of the idea, just the theory of the Metaverse, that eventually, as people go into the Metaverse, everyone's going to hold their own assets, whatever they might be, whatever currency they might have, and you might want to make a transaction inside the Metaverse, and that might be difficult, depending on what type of currency you might have, to make a transaction, because it's probably different than someone else's, assuming the Metaverse is supportive of all or most digital assets like that. And obviously Flexa could be integrated quite nicely with the Metaverse. I think it's almost a necessary agreement, maybe not necessarily Flexa, but some sort of collateralizing asset that will allow ease of transactions inside the Metaverse, and not just making payments on OpenSea to buy emojis or little icons and stuff like that. I'm talking real crypto assets, real blockchain assets inside the Metaverse, tangible things. So I think that is going to be a really good push for us in that sense for AMP and just the Flexa network in general. So let's take a look at the chart here. So honestly, not looking too hot. The reason I say this is because of this. So we were previously making we had 3 consecutive higher lows with some higher highs kind of chiming in there as well. The higher low was previously here at the bottom, a second one was here, and then there was a third one potentially bouncing off of this trend line, which it did not do. We actually fell below that, and now you'll see what we're doing is we're actually starting to roll, and that's not a great sign. With that being said, I think the flip side of this is potentially a decent point of entry, maybe not at the exact moment, but if we continue to roll, maybe we do test some of these lower levels that we've been previously at, down here, and here, before we start to make bigger runs up. So we could have a potential entry point. We see a lot of support at this level here, at about the 4-cent range. And we don't tend to stay down there for too long, a week, maybe 2, and then we kind of bounce out of it. And you see the range we're in currently is actually kind of the tightrope that we were accumulating in quite a bit before we launched off. So let's just measure this quick from the bottom here. So from the bottom to the top of the candle, we're talking at the top of the close is an 80% gain. At the top of the candle, if you sold at the absolute max, is 120% gain. I'm not necessarily calling for something like that, but we've seen what we can do in a single day, right? We can have 30% gains, and it's like nobody's business. We still have 10 more days or so, or 9 more days of bullish news, and I think, the fact that we're halfway through, or 2/3 of the way through of 25 days of Flexa, and we already have some amazing news. Including Gamestop and the Metaverse tokens, and all the other assets that we've been adding as well. It's just like proof of concept. It's just showing like, hey, AMP and Flexa is going to be around, and it's going to help bring the crypto world to the real world in terms of people actually being able to pay for their coffee with these assets. And that's something that I think distanced a lot of people from holding it in general, was the fact that like it's still, for some people it seemed like just like a digital money thing, and it was kind of foreign and scary or whatever. But now the fact that you can own Bitcoin, or you can own Doge, or whatever asset suits your fancy, because there's everything between those two. Now you can go live your life operating with blockchain and with crypto in your daily life. Like, you can get your morning cup of coffee at your local store. If they have Flexa like as a merchant for them, you'll be able to buy your coffee with whatever holdings you have. So that's like a really powerful and amazing thing. That's why I'm so bullish on AMP in general, because I see it as kind of a bridge to real world aspects, because commerce is where that's where money is spent, obviously, and that's a beautiful thing for digital assets to have the ability to do. It's just really powerful, and I think it's going to be absolutely enormous, and we have not even scraped the surface as to how far this can actually go. We are very early at the beginning here with AMP, and with Flexa in general. So I think there's even greater things on the horizon. I guess my point is, if they're already coming out with amazing news like this, I can't imagine what that last day is going to be like. On the 25th, they are going to drop a freaking bomb. I can almost guarantee it. There's going to be some amazing news coming out for AMP down the road, and the Flexa network as a whole. So stay tuned for some more updates regarding this. Be a little cautious here. I would actually place, some buy orders in at the 4-cent range. That seems like a wonderful position to buy in. The RSI would probably be hitting the bottom, and you've seen, it hits the bottom down here as well. And that was kind of the last time it's been that low. And I think if it hits that low again, that's a great time to buy. We would have a pretty good spike up following something like that. So good entry point. We also might find some support on this line that we're at now, and maybe start to test some resistance against this guy that was previously acting as support. So that would be kind of nice as well, to kind of come up and test that a bit. So we'll see what happens over the next few days here. And otherwise, we will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.